Hello everyone. Welcome to Session 1 of LTEC 623, Digital Video Design. My name is Dan Hoffman, and I'll be your instructor this semester. My background is in instructional technology and media, and I've been involved in the field of education for many years. In fact, I've had the privilege of working with learners at every conceivable level from pre-K all the way to graduate school. Outside of teaching, my specialty is designing and researching digital learning environments. I've been involved with lots of projects that explore various aspects of teaching and learning in digital spaces, many of which have used video in different capacities to improve or expand the educational experience. So now that you know a little bit more about me, let's talk about the course. What is a course titled Digital Video Design all about? Well, as the name suggests, the course is going to be about video. But what is video? Video is an electronic medium for recording and displaying moving visual media. In this course, we'll use the term video inclusively, in the sense that it will include film, television, and images shown on a computer display. Now, as I suggested, video can include film, but film traditionally refers to motion pictures that are screened and watched in movie theaters. If we compare and contrast how video and film are typically watched, video productions are watched at home on a television, on a computer screen, or a smartphone, whereas films are traditionally watched in a darkened movie theater on a very large screen with high-quality surround sound audio. Now, despite ongoing technical convergence of video and film, there remain crucial differences between the two media in terms of their aesthetic principles, which we'll be talking about throughout the semester. Importantly, we're studying video in the context of a learning design and technology department that is housed in a college of education. For that reason, we're going to be thinking about video in the context of teaching and learning. More specifically, this semester we're going to examine the relationship between video and education from a number of different dimensions. For example, one dimension is going to involve settings. How has video in education been used in formal and informal settings? Another dimension is how learners are positioned relative to video. Are learners positioned as consumers of other people's videos, or are they positioned as producers of their own videos? We'll also look at the differences in how students and teachers perceive and learn from video. Finally, we'll look at a communal dimension in which we explore how video is being used in education to create local and global communities. To help us explore video from all of these dimensions, we'll often refer to a number of guiding questions throughout the semester. These questions include: what has been the role and impact of video in education? How do people learn with, from, through video? Number 3, how can learning from video be supported? And number 4, what are the underlying principles and concepts of effective instructional videos? Of course, these guiding questions tie right into the learning objectives for the course. Our first learning objective is to have students understand, analyze, and evaluate how people learn with, from, and through video. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to study the affordances of video, in other words, the perceived and actual properties of video. We're going to examine its cognitive aspects, and we'll investigate the impact of video on engagement, attention, and emotion. Our second learning objective states that we will understand and apply various pedagogical approaches to teaching with and through video. How will we do this? Well, we're going to learn how video has been used successfully in various educational contexts. We'll see video used as anchors, as case studies, in problem-based learning and digital storytelling. Our third learning objective states that we will understand and apply the aesthetic and communicative principles of video design and production. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to study applied media aesthetics, the process of examining media elements such as sound and lighting, how those elements interact, and how we react perceptually to those interacting elements. In addition, we're going to be learning about cinematography, for example, camera angles, cutting, and composition. And our fourth objective is we are going to experience creating original digital videos for instructional purposes. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to experience the three main stages of video creation: pre-production, production, and post-production. And we're going to learn how to use important video-related software and hardware. So now I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about some of the basics of the course. Essentially the structure and the tools that are going to allow this online asynchronous course to happen. So as you all know, if you're watching this video, our learning management system for the semester is going to be Canvas. And when you first log in, there's some important information and links that I want you to be familiar with. In the overview module, you'll see three things: the course syllabus, the office hour sign-up sheet, and the virtual office. If you click on the course syllabus, that's a Google document that you can view. And I encourage everyone in the first week to go through and read carefully the syllabus for digital video design. The office hour sign-up sheet also takes you to another Google document, but this one you can edit. And this is the space where you will sign up for office hours when and if you need them. And as you can see, there are already dates listed for this Wednesday. And all you need to do is put your name down and let me know which course you want to talk about, and also whether you want to meet in person in my office in West Hall, or would you rather meet virtually using Zoom. And that brings us to the third link. If you're not familiar with Zoom, you can learn more at zoom.us. And the URL, which is also in the office hour sign-up sheet to my personal Zoom room, is zoom.us/my/Dan Hoffman. Another important thing is updating your Canvas profile. Now here's an example of a student from a previous class, and you'll notice in her profile she has some important information. First, you're going to notice she has a profile picture, and also she has her degree level, her degree program and year, and then there's a little bit of additional information about her background. This helps me as an instructor, as well as your classmates, get to know who's in the course and some of the previous experience that you're bringing to the context of LTEC 623. If you need help updating your Canvas profile, there are many YouTube videos explaining how to do that. I've linked to one here called Canvas, How to Edit Your Profile. So definitely check that out if you need help. Now I want to talk a little bit about the typical weekly structure of LTEC 623. Each module that will be released week to week throughout the semester will look something like this. Now this is just a sample, but let's go through this section by section. The first section is the presentation section. And in most weeks you will have a dedicated presentation file which you are responsible for viewing. In the next section, you'll see the readings for this particular session. Now, pay attention. There may be more than one reading, and as you can see here, it says reading 1, reading 2, and they both happen to be required readings. Now, sometimes the readings will be optional, so they're not necessarily required, but they're recommended and something you definitely want to read or put on the back burner as something you may want to look at when you get a chance. And then finally, there's the assignment section of each session. Now, the assignment section often will have a number of different things that you need to be working on. Now, pay attention, just because the assignments are in the same session, they may have different due dates, which you can see down underneath the title of each assignment. So pay attention to those due dates. At times, you will have multiple due dates in a given week in LTEC 623. Finally, I want to touch briefly upon some of the tools that we'll be using this semester. One of the tools we'll be using is an online software called Remark. And Remark is an online video collaboration and reviewing tool. This is a resource that we'll leverage, so as an asynchronous community, we can look at one video artifact and review it, annotate it, and talk about it collectively so that we can learn from each other about what's working or not working in a particular piece of video. Secondly, we're going to be introduced to WeVideo, and this is software as a service, in other words, a web-based video editing platform. And then finally, when we get a little bit more sophisticated with our ability to edit video, we are going to be using Lightworks, which is a cross-platform, non-linear video editing software that has professional upgrades. Now, I like Lightworks because it's cross-platform and open source. However, many of you may be coming to this course with significant experience in digital video editing using Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro or some other software, and that's fine. If you prefer to use those video editing applications, that's fine. I'm not going to force you to use Lightworks. However, the concepts and the ideas that we'll be exploring using Lightworks and that I'll be demonstrating, I certainly want you to experience and practice in your own software. Finally, I want to end by sharing a few tips for success in this online asynchronous course. First, please review the presentation files carefully. You are responsible for the information covered in those files. Secondly, it's important that you read the assigned readings and you take notes. And when you are asked to complete a critical reflection assignment, it's your responsibility to cite the readings and to make the connection between the assignment and the readings. Finally, I encourage you to plan ahead on assignments. Many of the assignments will involve multiple steps across multiple sittings. So please don't save them to the last minute or else you'll really catch yourself in a bind. Finally, monitor your own understanding. Ask for help when you need it. I'm here to support you. You can sign up for office hours whenever you need or want help. It's my job to help you be successful. That's all for this course introduction. I welcome you all to LTEC 623, and I look forward to seeing you in Canvas. Have a great week, everyone.